Good morning and welcome to week, what are we on? 47, Monday, 18th of November, just before midday. I have been out and about doing some things as well. I did a little bit of picking this morning, but I thought we'd just start with where we start the week on. So we're starting at 588.21, which is up about 8,500 on last week. So it was a good week for getting stuff in the store. 15,000 parts in the store, and we are starting on 14,550 lots, which in itself is about an increase of what's that, to 32 lots. So 15,000 parts, and we managed to increase by 32 lots. That's where we're at. Feedback continues. Let's hope it's still good. So yeah, most of that is pretty good, isn't it? Or in fact, all of it is pretty good. So happy days with that. So that's good. So where are we up to? Picking has been continuing. There's still 3 to pick, which I am mid-picking. As you can see, there's a lot of domestic letter in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at least at the moment. Maybe another one in that lot. This got a little bit messier over the weekend. Again, you know, it's on my list to do, but this week I'm going to try and crack through as many of these kind of smaller jobs as I possibly can. So get that put away is on the list. Yesterday I managed to find a box of those hidden behind older CMFs in the supermarket. So in there I think I've got 3 of the woman with a little baby dragon and 3 of the dragon with a knight's outfit type thing, which is pretty good. Then we've got all of this used that needs to be put away, sorted. I'm maybe going to attack this little pot because that's just bits that have been in the wrong places as I've been picking and need to be returned to their rightful home. And this morning I picked 81 of these things, and Bricklink said I had none left, and there is clearly a whole batch of black in there, which goes yet again to prove that I really do need to do a certain amount of auditing, because they're there and there's no point in them being there if they're not in the store. So I'm going to try and tackle some of these larger boxes for auditing this week so I can get those done. And I'm also thinking about making the move on these accessory drawers. We've progressed to, still got a few of the larger ones left, but in terms of the smaller ones we are approaching that halfway mark on those. And whilst I don't have any significant use for them yet, if they are on sale at Spotlight, it's always best to get in there first, and which means that these accessory drawers, which are quite a mixture of bits and pieces, whether it be animals or bows and arrows, or indeed quite often the printed or stickered parts from sets which are listed, they're a bit bulkier. You know, there's a lot of different bits in here. These are generally all used printed or stickered parts. You know, we've got bags of little bits, printed tiles, we've got helmets and all sorts of things like that in these, which generally are pretty useful to have over by the picking station. You know, we've got a whole bunch of weapons in there, shields all through there. There's some more shields somewhere. I spotted them earlier when I was going through them. Can't remember where they are. Oh, there they are. Some more shields, half filling one of those, so that needs sorting out. More animals in there. As you can see, it's kind of a dumping zone for those things that aren't necessarily parts, if you know what I mean. But there you go. So that's where we're at to with all of that. We've kind of filled some of these other ones back up with things. Some of them still need to be sorted through, like those studs on 2 sides. Those brackets, those small brackets, need to be sorted out because that's getting a little bit over the top. And I believe 63 and 64, I've got medium nugget to put into both of them, but there's no room in 63, so I need to siphon off probably the more Star Warsy colours. They are the more frequently accessed ones, so in my system, once we get to this point, then we break it down into the most frequently picked ones. So black and light blue grey are probably the two out of these lot that get picked a lot. Dark red, reddish brown, occasionally dark blue grey, yes, but kind of black and light blue grey seem to be the most popular out of those. And that's pretty much how this system works for me, and has done since the get-go, really. About the, it allows you to kind of build up a good wad of stock and then break it out once you get to a point where you need more space for a specific part. So we shall continue this week working through what we've got to work through, trying to do a couple of part outs, probably the Speed Champions one this week. We've got the Ferrari and the Lamborghini that can be parted out to add to that NASCAR one. And what I've started doing now is putting the wheels and rims in different places. When I first started, and I didn't have very many, they all went into B5. As you can see, tyres and rims go in here. There are bigger rims and stuff which are a bit more obvious to spot. But as that has become, more volume, and the similarities between the parts get a little bit confusing, I often have to refer to Bricklink to see the measurements of them. So now I'm splitting them out into different drawers as we go along. So rather than having to revolutionize everything at once, it's more of an evolution of where the storage is. And there are some in here somewhere. I can't quite remember where they are now. But that's kind of what's going on with that. Okay, I'm going to continue picking what needs to be picked, and then we'll come back and go through the orders which I haven't talked about yet, which I think it's probably, for some reason, I think it starts about here. Maybe these legs are the next one. Anyway, let's finish the picking first and get the post sorted, because that is going to take me a little bit of time, the sheer number of these packages, which is good for business, but it's going to be a busy rest of the day. Okay, so we're up to 26 picked. Still one to go, but it's only just come in, so I'm going to focus on getting this lot out the door and making some room as I'm running out. And another one has come in. No, it's the same one. It's just coming up on my notifications. Anyway, you may remember these arrived recently, and they are back out the door already. Small parts in this one, more small parts in that one, and this. I'm just going to roll through these pretty quick. The usual suspects. Bit of magenta, bright light, orange in that. Couple of windshields. I'm not sure if this one is domestic or parcel. Given that it's got that windshield, it must be parcel for the very depth of it. High value Joker. A whole bunch of vehicle parts, given that there are wheels and things. One of the archers from the Vikings with some spikes. What do they call them? Can't remember. They've got a name. Spears in my world. A whole lot of white, a little bit of other stuff in there, and then a bag of used. More white and another bag of used, different plates. Pretty interesting. More white, a whole bunch of white. A little bit of light blue grey, and this is the one with those black bricks that clearly are not out of stock, but it claimed it was. And I found another similar item as I was picking. This one again, more white. This one perhaps a bit more of a snowman Christmas feel. I'm thinking snowman because of the carrots as noses, but yeah, that one kind of feels quite Christmassy. A whole bunch of those tiles that they use for roofing, don't they? And then this one is light blue grey, dark blue grey, and a little bit of colour thrown in. So yeah, a whole raft of orders to get packed up. Time is what time is it? 1 o'clock. So we've got a couple of hours before I need to go to the post, which is good to get all that done. And then this is the one that is clearly mislisted, because it claims I only have 6 of those light blue grey ones left in stock, but there's clearly a lot more in there, so that needs figured out. Other things on the list to do this week is these like random pots of things that start appearing everywhere, where I'm putting parts aside that I need to sort out, and they end up kind of taking over. So that's another thing on the list. I'm actually going to draw up a hit list of things to do so that I can work through them and get it all done this week. Yeah, so it's been a pretty solid weekend all in all. Can't quite remember where we were, but 26 going out now. Maybe one or two of those have come in today, or maybe one of them actually has come in today, so that's pretty good for a weekend. Back up to some good 20s numbers. One of the things I'm actually doing is tracking store sales across stores of a similar size to mine, just so I can get an idea of where I'm sitting in terms of frequency of sales in WA for stores of the same size. So the stores that you might see in the performance review stuff. A lot of other things I want to try and get done this week in terms of the YouTube channel. I'm going to do some optimization of things, and I'm going to start a new video series about starting a Bricklink store. I did one way back which kind of ran through everything in one kind of 12-minute video. Obviously with kind of a year and a half's experience now, a little bit more than that, you develop a slightly different perspective on things, and perhaps one that's worthy of breaking down into smaller chunks so people can kind of follow through if they are thinking of starting their own store. So that's probably something that will appear this week, the first part of that anyway, which is really just the outline of what it's going to be. So postage is first cab off the rank. Let's get that done and then move on to completing picking the orders, really, which might mean that is pretty much all we're going to get done today, other than some admin in the background and stuff. But that's just the way it is some days. Mondays are that kind of day when you've got a little bit of backlog from the weekend, but it's very happy to have it. Good morning, Tuesday. Just after 10 a.m, 4 orders to pick, 128 lots, 345 items. Not going to take too long to do at all. I haven't picked yet because we were doing physio for Mrs. Yellowbrick Road. I did do the to-do list, and I've already completed the top 2 of those. It is in no particular order. I think the tray on the floor is probably the next cab off the rank, and then CMFs and things like that. So it's not going to be a linear process from top to bottom clearing those off, but that's the kind of stuff I'm going to try and achieve this week. Partly keeping me accountable, partly keeping me on track and focused on the things that we're needing to do. There is always a lot, and you do get, or I do, get distracted. There are a few kind of personal life admins that I need to do as well. But as you can see, it is a clear bench to start the day, which is always good. 4 to pick, varying sizes. I'm just waiting for it to load. So this is interesting, isn't it? So Brickowl, 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 Bricklink. So Brickowl continuing to be strong, which is good. Interesting stuff. Whether or not that blocks advert is having a kick-on effect, we shall see. In terms of part checking, this is the one that I want to part check at some point today. So this is the Starfighter with hyperdrive, which comes with the Jango Fett and the young Boba Fett. You've seen it a million times, so I'll stop going on about it. But that's the one that's next on the part check. That needs to go. Obviously, I have a birthday present to wrap. Mundane life things. We did get some more parts in for Ricky's order. These are those. So some tools, a couple of hubcaps, a ski, and 6 of these engine shells, which form part of that. I don't actually remember where they are though. Maybe Ricky's building a different one. I'm not entirely sure of the Viper, but yeah, so we're just waiting on those parts from Holland now to complete that little set of parts, which is pretty good. Yeah, so I'm going to get on with the picking, get stuck into that. There isn't an awful lot of used in it. Oh no, I'll take that back. There's a little bit of used, not a great deal. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, we've got like, I'm on Brick Freedom. It gives you this pick sheet of D, B, A, A, B, 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 B. Most of the used looks like it's in B, a little bit in C, some in A. Oh, we're into the used now. So yeah, there's a little bit of that to pick first, which is kind of how I've been doing it without the printer cartridge. I've been picking the used as a pick sheet, which is how it's actually meant to be done, ahead of the changes in the store, which will mean we get a trolley in here, and then we move down the aisle, down this aisle, and stuff like that. But that's going to come maybe later in this week. We'll see how we go. I haven't checked at Spotlight to see if they're on sale or not. But orders first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, all picked. Just under an hour, so not too bad, given the used and stuff like that. And the old adage of everything sells eventually is lived out in these parts. No idea what they were from when I bought that store, and no idea if I was ever going to shift them. But everything sells eventually. Have you only ever heard Bricklink vloggers or sellers say that when they sell something they thought they'd never shift? It's one of those, you know, when you start spotting red cars, because someone's talked about red cars, it's one of those kind of things. You spot the things that you hadn't sold for ages, all of a sudden, you know. Equally, those dark red lattice fences, they're the first ones I've sold of those as well. So everything sells eventually when you notice it selling. So a couple of domestic letters, that one which is kind of obviously some kind of building given those parts, but who knows what that's about. Maybe that's some kind of roof parts, you know. It could make kind of like a tiling roof, who knows. Quick and easy one, again, that UK buyer seller buying parts for me to ship into New Zealand. And then the two other ones, thinking this is Star Wars given the torso and the headpiece, but other than that, pretty bog standard parts in that one. And this one has a bit of a vehicle vibe to it, but not all of the parts, so who knows. But a nice little collection all the same. So an hour or less done, picking done for the day. Monday, was it Monday? Yeah, Monday night only 4, pretty slow all in all, but it was a bit of a crazy weekend, so maybe people were getting their shopping out of the way with Black Friday on the horizon. I imagine people are saving their pennies for some great deals. I'll certainly be looking out for gifts with purchases and things like that, for ordering any parts or any stores doing any Black Friday sales. That's definitely something that I'll be looking to, just to kind of pick up some parts. So that one done. I think I'm going to do those wedge plates and things next to clear that off the floor, and then we'll move on to the CMFs, I think, before I do a little bit of content stuff off of my list. But we're going well. I haven't crossed anything off the list yet, so let's get into crossing off those two audits. The 5050, those other parts, there were two variants in that box, which was how we got the miscount, and then the one buys with bricks on all of the sides, those ones in there. It said I had 7 of the light blue grey ones left, and in the end I had 105, so a definite disparity in the volume, which I can't really explain. As thorough as you might be, it does creep in over time, and shows the importance of auditing these things as it goes along. At the weekend we had the Aussie Bricklink sellers and New Zealand Bricklink sellers Zoom chat, and we had Derek from Pop's Block Shop coming in, and one of the things he said that really resonated with me was put the work in up front so you don't have to do it at this end where you're picking. And in terms of those inventory errors, mislabelings, things like that, as you spot them, in the early days I'd think, oh, I'll go back to them, because I didn't have an awful lot of other tasks to complete. Did I always go back to them? Not always, but it definitely is never been truer once you get to a certain scale, that if you see and miscount and mislabeling and misplacement, you have to sort it then and then, because you will forget about it and you'll be back in the same place in 6 months' time, scrambling around trying to figure out where that part is. So good lessons all around, one of many that Derek kind of imparted upon the group, which was really good, and thanks to him for all of his time, and thanks to everyone who turned up for it as well. Interestingly, I joined a Discord group for Superbricks beta test, and a couple of people have mentioned it to me in terms of maybe something to do for Yellow Brick Road as well. So I'm going to start a Discord channel. I don't promise to be very good at it, I don't promise to know a lot about it, but people seem to have a lot of questions or want to have a bit more community sense. So I have started a Discord, and the link for that is in the description down below this video. So if you are interested in a little bit more conversation with other sellers, not just me, then feel free to jump onto that link and join the group. I think that's what you do, who knows. But other than that, I shall crack on with these postage stuff and then get stuck into these wedge plates and report back once I'm done. Tuesday, end of the day. Put away all of the used that was in those dioramas. So the detention centre, the Emperor's Throne Room, Cloud City, Theed Palace, and the Tatooine one. Total of 2,476 parts, 343 items, which has given us a good little bump up to 581,582 in 14,713 lots. We are ticking along nicely, and as you can see, we're all cleaned down. 4 orders waiting to be picked. This one I have picked already, which is just, I think it was 50 of the panels with the centre divide already picked. That one was waiting for confirmation on a postcode, as it didn't match Australia Post. So we've made good headway with the checklist, and I've even done the recycling, which wasn't on the list. So get me on full effectiveness today, aren't I? Yeah, so that's it. Tuesday done and dusted. 4 in already, which is pretty decent for a Tuesday. We'll see what the morning brings. See you then. It is Wednesday. Yeah, I had to think for a minute. I'm a little bit hoarse for some reason, but there you go. 6 more orders have come in overnight of varying size and interest, and one of particular note, this one, which is the first eBay sale. Darth Vader going out there. So it's actually for WA, so it's pretty local, but yeah, the first one. So got to continue with that. I've added it to my to-do list. That one you saw yesterday. More minifigure heads from that Pharrell Williams part out, so that one continued to trickle away. Domestic leather, straightforward one, a few easy parts in that one. Bit of a red theme with some axles and some other Technic bricks and things like that in that one. Very very colour coded, isn't it? This one off to New Zealand, the Quickie Mart instructions, nice one to be going. Russell's mock continues. I'm not sure, I think he's building a city now from what we talked about at the weekend, so a few town characters heading into the city, and some fences, some tiles, and a fair bit of green, obviously making some kind of park. And then the largest order, which was about 158 lots, big bunch of white, lot of bricks in that, fair old chunk of black, fair few tile slopes, bricks in that, a little bit of dark blue grey, a little bit of light blue grey, including clearing me out of these little things, and then a whole assortment of different colours in there, and some trans elements in there. So that's a decent order. It was a few hundred parts in 158 lots, so pretty decent. So 7, not bad, happy with that. I think I showed you the used going in last night, so that's all good. And then I started kind of this bucket here, which is kind of, I know a lot of other sellers have bundles of stuff that they sell on eBay as kind of second grade parts, and I've generally just chucked them out, but I'm going to start keeping them, and then once I've got a fair amount, I'll stick it on eBay and we'll go from there and see what happens. So that means we're into sorting out kind of the other tubs or doing a part out. Probably fancy doing a part out. Speed Champions is on the list. I'm going to do some more eBay listings. That Discord thing is set up, and I want to start a couple of these videos as well, so plenty to do in terms of content, which does take its time, but it's good stuff, and it kind of keeps bringing people to the channel, which is really good. So if you haven't liked or subscribed this video, do it now. Let's get it out of the way and we can move on into the rest of the week, safe in the knowledge that you're helping with the monetization. Okay, let's get this stuff ready for posting. Good afternoon. It is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. I've spent a fair bit of time this morning shouting at VW again. Took the car in yesterday. Turns out they were trying to fix the problem that wasn't a problem, and they have been for 9 months despite me trying to work with them. And then I got accused of being a rude customer for being a bit exacerbated and telling them to get off their arse and do something about it. But yeah, so yeah, spent a long time talking to the service manager and trying to explain how 9 months isn't what I call a reasonable process. But there you go. In better news, rant over 12 orders. So a bumper Wednesday night into Thursday morning, of which we have a right old mixed bag, a trans clear printed dish, a Viking Warrior. This one is for collection, so I need to message the buyer. Clearly some kind of Star Wars ship. Used parts predominantly of all sorts of, predominantly pins, but something going on. 24 of those. More of the Pharrell Williams minifigure heads, some chains, and a Dungeons and Dragons CMF. This is a good one because when I was trying to find those town figures for Russell yesterday, was that yesterday or the day before, I spotted Santa in amongst the minifigures, and I thought to myself, I wonder if he's even listed, because you would have thought he'd be quite popular this time of year, and he's gone to Russell, who's obviously creating some kind of lake in his park or an ice rink, not sure which. So that's cool. This is a cracking little order, a whole load of weapons, black, clearing me out with the black bows, some spikes, some pikes in there as well, some cannonball type things, more chains, more arrows, a whole load of trans stuff, variety of that, clearing me out, and a few things there, and a whole bunch of plants as well. I think there's 2 types of things in there. Yeah, there's the other one. Small used parts order there, a lot of white, reddish brown, and some black and some light blue grey there. The biggest order here, which feels like some kind of castle situation. As you can see, a lot of dark blue grey, reddish brown, a little bit of light blue grey, small amount of black, and then some stuff which might suggest castle Vikings type thing. And then the final one of the 12 has a very Christmas feel. Belinda with another order, a lot of red, white, blue, black, and some green and lime pieces. Very much a Christmassy feel. Missing one part from that order, which is a bit of a shame. In terms of what we've been doing on the wanted list, the how to start a Bricklink Store video went up. I have part checked the 75191 Starfighter with Hyper Ring, which is pretty good. Turned out I had 2 of the astromechs in that, so that's a bonus. Extra astromech to put into the store. And then I've also colour separated 4479, which is the vintage TIE bomber. Colour separated it. I haven't part checked it yet. And I went through that bag of wheels, which had all sorts in it, like heaps of these tyres, quite a lot of those old kind of city wheels, a load of those old space wheels, and other older ones. Some of those have got a bit of rust on the actual mechanism, so I'll need to list those with a bit of caution. That is not one that needs to be in there, so I need to take that out. Yeah, so there's all sorts in there. Some other wheels, a kind of tractor tread type thing, and some other wheels, lots of used wheels. Not usually something I'm that keen on, but I'm going to get them in the store all the same. So it is, what time is it? Let's have a little look. 10 to 2. So I'm going to have to get a wiggle on to get all this to the post office, send the local buyer his message to say he's ready to collect, get all of these packed up. One of these is international. I can't quite remember which one it is. One of them is. But other than that, it's good to go. So a great little Tuesday night, and then get this sorted and probably part check the Thai bomber, and then get the wheels in. Maybe get the wheels in, because that's going to make money quicker, isn't it? Or potentially anyway. So that's next on the job after this one. We are at 10 to 5. All the wheels and everything catalogued, put away. I haven't uploaded it yet, but 268 parts, 36 lots, a value of $25, so not a great deal. Plenty of wheels, some good quantities in some, 67, 24, 16, but yeah, pretty bog standard really. So they're all gonna get uploaded in a minute. I have put some of them in an overflow container to try and make finding them easier. This copy of Blocks magazine arrived. This is issue 121. I'm not sure which month it is, but there we are. Oh yes. Who are we in amongst? Some of the same names, so a bit of different stuff in here now. A bit of photography, a cafe in Sheffield, nostalgic toys, probably less stores than there were, but oh, there's another page. We're on the second page. Why am I not on the first page? I'm going to complain about that. I reckon I should be on the first page, given that I've been in this for a while. Hut bricks, that's good. There you go. Why are they in twice? DSL bricks, DSL bricks. Is that an error? Anyway, there you go. There's that. Some parts have arrived. These could be interesting. Some helmets, some shields, some body armour. Not sure when I ordered this. A whole load of brackets. So that's pretty good. Get those into a file shortly. And then what are we looking at? That's pretty much it, isn't it? It's 10 to 5 really. Not much left of the day, is it? Some packaging arrived yesterday. I didn't talk about that. That's just domestic letterboxes. 300 of those came in. So they work out at great value when you're doing them at 300, even with the shipping, which is almost as much as the boxes, to be honest. If only I was back in Sydney, that would be an easy collect. So that's restocked. Does mean the one to watch now is my medium boxes. They're the ones that are next probably on the list of replenishing. But other than that, we're in good shape, eh? Some parts that I definitely want to try and replenish over the weekend. And given that there is a whole bunch of gifts with purchase over the weekend for Black Friday, I am planning on making a parts order so that I can get that record player, because it is a winner, isn't it? So where are we up to on the to-do list? I haven't done an awful lot on the to-do list, I'll be honest. I've got the used wheels in. I've messaged the person about that antique store to see whether or not they want it. I've put the packaging away, but I haven't done much else. So given that it's Friday tomorrow, it's all to do, isn't it? Plenty to do tomorrow. Yeah, especially sorting all that out. Awesome. So I have to put this away, and then I'll upload these parts, and then we'll get on with it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, welcome to Friday. Funny old day. Busy morning elsewhere, which meant it's a late start picking and 10 orders. So a good little bump, although the majority of them fairly small, as has been the case most of this week. I haven't actually checked how we're tracking on the month or anything like that. Generally speaking, do that towards the end of the month. But here we go. 3 propellers, 3 parts, 10 of those long kind of slopey things in dark red. Someone obviously rebuilding 501st battle packs. I thought it was space to start with, and then I got to the stickers and it was obvious. A whole bunch of Star Wars mainly, although there are 1 speed champions and 2 of those in this, but everything else is Star Wars. Fairly recent sets. That is a pickup. Very much a Star Wars dark blue grey with a smattering of dark orange in that one. Russell and Ricky, last week we were drinking beer. This week Russell's taken a bit of a tangent and his park. Perhaps this is more water with some knights thrown in, and Ricky's going Hoth with a night owl and a beautiful Elsa. And who wouldn't add a bit of beautiful Elsa to the scene? Everyone needs that in their life. Slightly Christmassy with this one, a little bit of red and white and some other bits in there. And then the largest order of the day with a couple of Star Wars figures and young Anakin and Darth Vader from the meditation chamber, or the Julon Pezpin. Is that what it is? Julon Pezpin, maybe. Yep. Set. So 112, and then black, dark blue grey, light blue grey parts. So it is fast approaching 3 o'clock, so I need to bust a move and get these done. I have not done anything else today in terms of the store, so the list is looking fairly pathetic. The Discord is set up, and I remind you, if you missed it earlier on in the vlog and you're interested in jumping on the Discord, the link, invite link, is in the description down below on the video. I haven't done anything else. I need to do some stuff over the weekend on that. But there's the orders for the day. Happy that we're continuing on a good quantity, and maybe the weekend could be even better. Who knows? We shall see as we crack into it. So, postage. It's Saturday afternoon. Doesn't feel like I've actually done a lot of recording this week, but it's kind of been a busy one for orders. And whilst that's brilliant, it does mean that this week's vlog's probably going to be looking a little bit of a short one, which might be merciful for some of you that have probably had enough of listening to me whiffle on about saying how I need to tidy up and postman anger issues and all of that. But so let's have a look. 9 orders in so far. It's Saturday kind of mid-afternoon, so it's been a big one. A couple of big orders as well, a couple of interesting ones. This one, interesting. These dark brown kind of circular bricks with the grill on them in a couple of orders, so they've popped up out of nowhere. A whole lot of Technic pins, some pearl gold 26L hoses in that one. Just a little smattering of dark blue, light blue, black parts in that one. This is Hugh, one of the attendees of the Australia and New Zealand Zoom calls, clearing me out of these kind of trans neon orange parts. This one, a couple of Harry Potter minifigures. I am not clued up enough on those to know who they are, but there you go. Always good to see the Harry Potter ones going out the door, and a town figure with a kind of a life vest on thing, and then bricks in that one, domestic letter, that's why they're clipped together. And then into the bigger ones, so repeat buyer Elizabeth, again a whole raft of Technic parts, pins, a lot of light blue, dark blue greys there, a whole batch of tan cogs, and then a lot of lift arms and things in black. This one is clearing me out of an awful lot of dark orange stuff and medium nugget. There's a little bit of dark tan in there, that one getting the tile. This one is off to the States, so a nice little selection of accessories, backpacks, headpieces, a couple of minifigure heads, yeah, some cool bits in there. This one getting the tile. The second of those Amiga like little sets from the advent calendar for 2023. Suddenly they're quite popular, aren't they? And then we've got I think that might be, is that fives, that one, or is that, can't remember which one it is. We've got 8 of the Death Troopers, we've got a Scarif Trooper, and then we've got some Patronian Guards in there. Cracking little order, that one. As you can imagine, with those minifigures, great value. This one had an awful lot of used in it, dark blue grey, a few barrels in there as well, a whole load of light blue grey. The majority of that is used, and as you can see, the standard of used in the store is of the highest calibre. A little bit of black, a little bit of trans, and some dark red in there. And then this one has just literally been picked, a Hero Factory part in dark red, some more of these dark brown circular bricks with the grill, some slopes in dark brown, and some dark tan tiles. So yeah, 9 in so far, pretty decent, happy with that. Good value as well. Like whilst there's a couple of small orders in there, the bigger orders are definitely offsetting that and bringing the average value, but which puts us ahead, I think, so far on the month, which is good to be in with a week to go, isn't it? Which brings us probably to the end of the week, really. I have done a couple of pick a brick orders with Lego, mainly because I wanted to get that record player. I'll keep one, sell one. There's a couple of winter trains as well. And I think for the first time you were able to actually just cash in your insider points. I don't ever remember that being an option previously. Maybe I totally missed it, I don't know. But so I cashed in that. That was like a fair old chunk of cash. It was like $100 worth, so that's pretty decent as well. It brings the whole price down on the parts, so they'll wing their way to me eventually. Earlier in the week I had a problem with an order in that I couldn't find a part. Which drawer was it? I think it was this one. It was in T10. There was a part, well, it wasn't, it should have been in 2L113, 54 red wedge plates, and here they are. And I searched through everything for them. They weren't in 2L113, they weren't, and I went through each drawer, as I do when I'm trying to find things, which is a laborious task. Searched through them all 72 of them, and I went through all 360 odd, whatever it is, big drawers as well, looking for these 54 of them, because at 54 they had to be in either a big drawer or a tray. Couldn't find them. There they were in T10 in that slot there, staring me in the face like that. Sometimes you just can't see the wood for the trees when you're trying to charge through orders and stuff like that. So I had deleted them from the store, and now I need to put them back into the store, which is a bit of a frustration. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a really good run at it on terms of Black Friday sales. Sadly, Spotlight have not put these on sale, although the bigger ones are down at 40, but the 60 drawer ones are still at 45, so I'm going to hold off until they're reduced, because although Kmart doing for 37, I don't know if they're exactly the same. I need to go and have a look, check them out, see if they are the same. Don't want to have dodgy stuff. I need to put the Starfighter on eBay, but I'll probably do that next week. No particular rush for that, but that's definitely what we need to get done. And other than that, we didn't really do anything else on the list either. I haven't done a part out video. I didn't do any more part outs. That will be next week. Didn't update the website. I did do the Discord, which I've mentioned a couple of times now, and if you are interested in that, the link is down below in the comments. And I need to do the next installment of this how to start a Bricklink store, which I will do next week and get that online. So it might be a busy week next week for videos amongst everything else, but we'll keep everything ticking along, which is exactly what we need to do, just to keep everyone kind of engaged in the channel. So thanks everybody for watching this week. I'm going to end it there. Probably have a Sunday off, to be honest. Just kick back and relax. Well-earned rest from the week. So cheers for watching, and I shall see you all next week.